Happy Camper Radio, episode 004. Come on, let's go camping. It's good to be back with you once again. Welcome, everybody, to episode 004 of the Happy Camper Radio Show. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. And yes, you, my friends, can be one too. It's a great day to camp. Any day is a good day to go camp. You can check us online anytime at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook. And, of course, follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker. Our phone number here at the studio is 404-537-2267. That's 404-537-CAMP. You can catch us on our voicemail anytime, day or night, at your convenience. Just give us a call, leave us your name, where you're calling from, and make sure you include your camping question in your voicemail. Of course, we'll take your feedback and any thing you want to tell us about the program, what you think of it. Let us know. 404-537-2267. 404-537-CAMP. Now, for those of you on BlackBerry, welcome aboard. You can also catch us on Stitcher, iTunes, Podbean, and now MicroGuide. A great number of ways to reach the Happy Camper Radio Show. We're open anytime. And of course, you can always check us out on the web here. Click on the podcast episodes, and you'll pick up our current episode as well as some of the previous episodes right there on our website at www.happycamperradio.com. Now, as promised, I have a guest that I'm welcoming here to the campground for the very first time. This guy is pumped up. He is excited. He is a happy camper. He's an adventurer all the way around, and he is here with us today. Daniel, let's welcome Daniel to the show. How are you, Daniel?
I'm all right, Skip. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Doing real good. Now, as you can see, I went ahead and raked the area out very well. I got you the best camping chair that I thought would fit you, and I pulled a microphone out of the closet, and we got you all hooked up, did a quick sound check before we went on the air, and hey, I'm glad you're aboard here with us.
Well, thanks, Skip. It's nice to be here.
Well, great. So, Daniel, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? But I'll tell you what, before I do that, there's something I want to do for you, and I think it's only appropriate since you are here at the campsite. I want to pass on to you the ceremonial campfire lighter.
Whoa.
And I am going to give you the honors of reaching out on here. I got the wood, as you can see, all neatly stacked off to the side. I got some oak in here. I got some hickory. And, of course, I've got the campfire all ready to light.
You put the gasoline on, right?
No, absolutely not. No, that's one of the things we do not do, and especially with all the kids around here, too. No. It's seasoned enough. All you've got to do is light the lighter.
All right.
Okay, and I'm going to pass that on to you right now, so I know you can go ahead and get that done for us.
Okay.
Whoa! Oh, now tell you what, Daniel, I know you had to go to school to do that.
I did learn it in Boy Scouts. They said one match. That was a rule in Boy Scouts. One match. If you didn't get it in one match, you were out of luck.
Well, you did a good job. Hats off to you. Okay, Daniel, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself here?
Well, I've pretty much been camping since I was in the womb. Me and my parents, that's pretty much the only thing they had in common. My dad was rock and roll, and my mom was classical, and pretty much the only thing they had in common was outdoors. So I'd like to think that camping in the outdoors is what made me who I am today. And I've been camping my whole life. I was in Boy Scouts from a little kid. I was a Cub Scout, Weeblos, and then I was a Boy Scout. And then ever since I was a little kid, like I said, I've been camping and enjoying the outdoors and hiking and just, exploring the world. That's what it's all about, exploring the world and seeing nature and different things, and,
Well, I've always said that camping brings out the best in everybody. And I really, really feel sorry for all the people out there who have spent their entire lives living in a metropolitan area and never getting out because they made that their environment. They made that their home, and they really have not a clue what they're missing.
They really don't. I mean, the city is great and everything, and it's a totally different thing. But it's good to experience all kinds of environments. You know, you got the woods, you got the city, you got the desert, you got all kinds of places. And other than the city, everywhere else you can camp. You can camp in the desert. You can camp in the forest. You can camp in the Arctic tundra, as we've seen on certain TV shows and stuff. But I mean, I'm a person who likes to experience it all. I wanna experience life. I want to live life. I want to experience what is on this earth. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is through camping and going to different sites and different places and just experiencing what nature has to offer.
Yeah. Now, Daniel, I shared a little bit about your background on last week's episode. And I don't know if you've caught it or not, but one of the things that I pointed out to our listeners, now you've been around long before I even come up with the idea of putting the Happy Camper radio show together. And when you picked up on that, there were times where, you know, I was just overwhelmed by it all. And you were one of a very few people that really kept the juices flowing and really kept my adrenaline going and really kept on me to go ahead and get this program off the ground. And, you know, it took a year, as you can tell. We put a lot into it. And, you know, I really tip my hat to you on that because, you know, I know you're a camper and you and I can communicate very, very good on those grounds.
Oh yeah, Skip. I mean, I'm all about podcasting and stuff. I listen to all kinds of podcasts on my radio when I'm you know, doing my job and everything. And everyone who's told me about podcasts has said, just do it. But you are a perfectionist. You had to have it perfect. And I think that's awesome.
Well,
and
then,
now,
you know, you've got to be that way. Why be any other way? You know, because, you know, if it's like, you know, if you're going to go out and you're going to shovel the snow off your driveway, all right, you do it right. Do it right the first time, okay?
Yeah.
Because the snow's going to come back, and by the time the snow does return, you're going to know how to do it right the second time, and you're not going to have to worry about going back and trying to correct things. You know what I'm saying? Now, that was a pretty bad example, I've got to admit. But one thing I really want to point out a lot is the fact that one of the big things we have in common, you and I could be sitting at two different breakfast tables, and we could be planning a camping trip, and we could both get just as excited about planning that trip. We could be arriving at different campgrounds and get just as excited about pitching our tents or popping open our RVs, if that be the case. All right. And more so, we can both come back from our camping experience and bring with us a lifetime of memories.
Oh, that's so true.
We've got a lot in common there. One big difference, however. All right. I've got a few years on you. Meaning that by the time I get my garage door open, at least halfway open, you're already packed up and heading down the road.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. It's going to take me a little bit to get caught up with you here. It's kind of like that I think it's 1963 movie. It's a television series. I don't remember if you remember Petticoat Junction.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. The Shady Rest Hotel. Yeah. That's Uncle Joe when he's moving kind of slow at the junction. That's me, okay?
Right.
Yeah, all right. I do get there, but it's going to take some time. And, you know, and believe me, I really, really have a great time when I camp, regardless of how much time I spend here. Now, I also want to take a moment here before we go any further to pause, because one of the things I point out, and I've been doing this for the past 4 weeks now, I tell all of our campers, I don't care if you're experienced, I don't care if you camp regularly or just maybe every once in a while, or you're new to camping. Anytime you find yourself getting stressed out, that's the time you need to pack your gear into your car, into your truck, and head out, even if it's just a weekend away, and unwind, okay? And let all that stress go.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Skip. I don't want to disturb you or anything, but I live next to Skip, like you said last week, and when I get stressed out, I go into the backyard, I light up a fire, and nothing calms me down like sitting in front of a nice hot fire under the clear blues or the clear night sky, seeing the stars. Nothing de-stresses me more than being there. It's like my kind of sort of way that I get away from the world and live in the camping world. That's what I like to call it. I like to call it the camping world. Sitting in front of a fire. I believe that you're not camping unless you're sitting in front of a fire, talking to friends, talking to family, and just relaxing and just enjoying
like we're
nature.
doing right now.
Exactly.
Right.
I just love this so much.
Just the crackle of that fire, it just really does something to you now. And I bring this up now more important than any. And I'm gonna say when you get stressed out, take a week off work. It's almost impossible for anybody to do at a given moment.
Yep.
But even just if you plan your next weekend off, just to set everything aside for a moment, pack the kids up, pack the wife up. Whoever you're staying with there, and head out to the nearest campground, and there's a lot of them right there close to us. We've got one here that's no more than about 5-10 minutes away, and we could just go there anytime. Now, you got to keep in mind, this has been a very challenging week for a lot of folks in this country.
Yeah.
First of all, we got through April 15th tax day, and that's enough to stress anybody out.
Right.
But let's add to that, and let's not forget some of the devastating events that occurred this past week throughout the country. We got the bombings in Boston. We have the fertilizer plant explosion in West Texas. Right. There are people who have lost their lives. There are people whose lives will be affected forever because of these events. And while most of us, this is not going to affect us directly, the fact it is going to affect us, because keep in mind, where was our attention all this week? Everybody's attention. It was either on a television set, it was glued to a radio, it was in a newspaper, it was on the iPhone, or we were streaming something online. But everybody's attention was focused on these events. And yes, it will stress you out, even though you may not be directly involved. So, I got to say, this probably would be a great weekend to get away. I'm planning on a trip here this upcoming weekend, and I'll go ahead and talk about that here in just a little bit. But yes, camping is one of the things that really relaxes you. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to change what happened. All right. But it's going to, start to put your mind at ease and start getting you back to producing a normal life. We've all got stresses. Some people find it best to maybe go bowling, to go to a baseball game or a football game, and as long as those things are positive, I don't mind. But, camping is really where it's at, in my opinion. Camping is what it's about. And like I say, camping is all we talk about here on the Happy Camper Radio Show. 404-537-2267 is our phone number here at the studio. Again, you can give us a call anytime. Skip and Daniel here on the show. If you have a question for us, definitely give us a call, 404-537-CAMP, or you can drop us an email by going to our website at www.happycamperradio.com and click on any one of the links to send us an email with your camping question or comment. Daniel, what do you think about this new truck that I went ahead and threw out to everybody here this past week? Because, yes, and I know you're real proud of it. I want to give you a minute to talk about that, because, like yourself, I've got a trailer sitting on the side of my house, would have been sitting there for a very, very long time. But of course, that trailer is going to be up for sale here momentarily after when I go ahead and get it refurbished. But I have kind of ventured back into the primitive stuff. The Pioneer, let's call it that. But I know the reason I want to go ahead and throw your truck out there, because I know you're dying to get that trailer, that pop-up camper, connected up to the back of it. Where do you plan on going? Where is your first camping trip with that?
So, me and my wife, every year, we usually go to one place big every year. Mm-hmm. And this year, we've planned on going to D.C. My wife has never been to D.C. I haven't been there in over 20 years. My grandparents used to live there. And I heard through my parents that, when they went up there last time, that they went to a campground called Prince William Campground up near DC, and that's where we're gonna go. And we're gonna camp there, and we're gonna see the sights in DC, and we're gonna, explore everything that region of the country has to offer.
Great. Well, I'll tell you what, I know you're really, really looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
And, you're going to be just as excited going on your trip as I am my trip coming up next weekend.
I just want to pop that pop-up. I'm a pop-up man. Skip, he's a tent man, and I totally respect that. But I'm all about the pop-up, and I cannot wait to hook that thing up to my new truck that I just bought a few weeks ago and hit the road, because that's just so awesome. I mean, you're carrying your hotel pretty much behind you, and I just can't wait.
Right. Now, one of the things I want to talk about here on the program today, since we've been encouraging everybody out there to go ahead and get your tent in order for new campers out there, we went ahead and took the past couple episodes and really hammered the idea of buying a tent to these folks and some of the things they need to look for. If you've purchased your tent already, congratulations to you. If you have not, congratulations as well, because buying your tent is kind of like buying a car. You've really got to look around. You've got to shop around and find out what is suitable for you. But once you get that tent, one of the next items that you're probably going to want to purchase is a sleeping bag. Now, I want to throw this out here right away. I don't spend a whole lot of money on sleeping bags. Sleeping bags are just like your tent. They will last you a long time, provided you take good care of them. My sleeping bag that I bought several years ago cost me no more than $20. They're probably a little bit more than that today. But you don't necessarily need to buy a sleeping bag that runs into the hundreds of dollars. And believe me, they do. But there is quite a variety out there. You've got queen-size sleeping bags, sometimes called the his or her or the Adam and Eve bag. I like those because I'm a pretty big guy, and I like to stretch, and I like to roll around and everything, and I need that space. Now, I don't have one, but I probably will get one of these days when I eventually buy a queen-size blow-up mattress and buy the frame to go right along with it. But for the most part, right now, I'm pretty content with the sleeping bag that I do have. One of the things you want to keep an eye on when you purchase a new sleeping bag is the temperature rating. Most likely, you're going to be doing your camping in the spring and the summer, so you're not going to need a sleeping bag that's going to require you to zip up inside of it and be comfortable in sub-zero temperatures. You're going to sweat yourself to death. Now, you can buy such a sleeping bag, and it might not be a bad idea if you do get something with some temperature rating that is, say, in the vicinity maybe around 12 degrees or something like that, where it's going to keep you comfortable. But again, you're going to pay a little bit more for it if you go that route. But for the most part, my sleeping bag, like I say, rates around 30 degrees. It is comfortable. I take care of it. I never, ever put it away with the slightest bit of dampness in it. That's the worst thing you can do. And believe me, I have been out there on a few occasions where my sleeping bag did get wet. Even if that was just dragging it out of the tent to roll it up. And in that case, I mean, I don't roll up. I just basically throw it in the back of the truck. And when I get home, I air it out, I dry it out. And when I store it, I put it away in the house. It does not go out there in the garage with the rest of the camping equipment, because it is a blanket, so to speak. It's designed to keep you warm. And Daniel, what kind of a sleeping bag do you use?
I have to admit, Skip, hold on. I'm a pop-up guy, so I'm all about comforters and sheets. That's the way I am. Call me frou-frou, call me what you will. At least I'm not driving a tour van. But, I mean...
Daniel, you're camping.
I know, but I have a pop-up, and, it's one step up. But when I was in Boy Scouts, pretty much I would I don't know. I buy the cheapest. I buy the cheapest sleeping bag that they have. Actually,
there is nothing wrong with being cheap, all right? And I'm going to tell you something. I have explained to many of our listeners that camping, for the most part, is a very inexpensive activity. It does not cost a lot of money.
When you do it the Skip way, it is very cheap. When you do it my way, it's a little bit more, but it's better than a hotel. So, I like this, Skip. I like this. This is the tent perspective as opposed to the pop-up perspective or the RV or trailer perspective. This is a good back and forth we got here, because there are pretty much two types really three types of campers. There's Skip, who is the tent camper, the pioneer camper, the rugged guy, the pioneer guy. And then there's me, who's one step up, who, likes his electric, he likes his power, he's maybe some cable TV or whatever. I know, heaven forbid.
No, I've been telling people, don't bring your flat panel TV because you're going to a site that has electrical hookup, okay?
Hey.
No. There are some luxuries we do need to leave at home.
Hey, I am a Wi-Fi guy. I'm 32, so I need my Wi-Fi.
I would even encourage people to leave their iPhones at home unless, of course, they downloaded the Happy Camper radio show.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Long before you arrived at the campsite. Because if you're going to sit around the campfire and if you're not going to talk next to the people sitting next to you, put your earbuds in and listen to the program, because that is the best place, the absolute best place to listen to this program.
Well, I can't agree more, Skip. But basically what I'm saying is I use whatever keeps me warm. I mean, people are different. Like when I sleep in my bed at night, sometimes I don't sleep with any sheets. Sometimes I sleep with a lot of sheets. But you want to have something that's pretty warm. So when you get cold at night, you can bundle up. If you get warm, you can throw it off. I've been camping in a tent. It's okay. I mean, it's cool, but, that's not what I like to do nowadays. But, I get it. I understand. I think that you get something not crazy, 30 below, like they do at the, expensive camping stores. But, get something that's, in the middle, and I think you'll be fine. I really do.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of places you can go out and look for sleeping bags in your local department store, your camping supply store, and you can find a lot of great deals online too, and it's not going to cost you a whole lot of money. This upcoming weekend, I am planning a trip back up north to one of my favorite hideaways, and I've got some pictures on the website I've been talking about there, my fall camping trip to Hiawassee, Georgia. I am heading back up there, weather permitting, this upcoming weekend for some great time, some great fellowship, and we're going to have a great time while we're up there. And I know these guys up there have all heard the show. They're pretty excited about it, and they're looking forward to getting up there as well. Hey, I want to also remind everybody, coming up here is the Great American Backyard Campout, and we talk about burning in our backyard. Now, that's one thing that Daniel and I can do where we live, but, if you're going to burn in your backyard, even if it's a campfire, please make sure that you check your local government regulations to see if you are permitted to do that. Just don't light up a fire. I mean, hey, the campfire is a part of the campout, but, this upcoming event here, which is coming up on June the 22nd, 2013, the Great American Backyard Campout, we've been pushing it here for the past couple weeks. You can register online at our website at www.happycamperradio.com. Click on Skip's Corner and go down to the links page, and you'll see it right there. It's the link to the Great American Backyard Campout. You can register online. It's absolutely free of charge. Not going to cost you anything. They also have a great fundraiser they're participating in. And if you want to go ahead and get together with a group and possibly help them raise some money, it's, again, for a very, very great cause. 80% of all the money that they raise goes to a very, very good program that addresses the problems of America's indoor childhood and the health risks associated with them. So if you'd like to participate, again, I would go ahead and encourage you to do that. You don't have to, but you can still go ahead and register online. There's a lot of bells and whistles go along with it. You want to introduce your kids to camping, this is the place to do it. Right there in your very own backyard. There's still plenty of time to do it. Plenty of time to get your tents, plenty of time to get your sleeping bags. Make it a family affair. And again, if you don't have the ability to camp in your backyard, let's just say you live in an apartment complex or a condominium, and that's not going to work. There are some great campsites probably not too far away from you. You can get together with some friends that possibly has a backyard, and you can get together with them and make it a great one-night friend night, family night out. Saturday, June the 22nd, 2013, the Great American Backyard Campout. Now it's time for our feature campground of the week. You've been following this very carefully, haven't you, Daniel?
Oh, yeah, Skip, and I'm trying to go to all the camping places you tell me to, but my dang job won't let me off.
And hey, I want to tell you something, there's plenty of them out there, too. And if you want to go to one, I've got a great one for you. You're going to have to drive to get there. It's our featured campground of the week. And this week we venture off to Bear Creek, Texas. Just south of the Fort Worth area. I came across this online just the other day. It is an awesome, awesome campsite. It is open year-round. That's what's really, really neat about this one right here. And it's part of the recreation.gov family of campgrounds, and we've got a link to it on our website at www.happycamperradio.com. Just click on the featured campground, and there it will be right there, Bear Creek, Texas. Now, this particular campground, it doesn't have a whole lot of campsites there. If you click on their facility map, I think there is a total of 41, and one of those sites is a group campsite. And they all have electrical hookups. They're all on flat ground, a lot of open area, and most of them are visible right there next to the lake. That is my kind of camping right there, folks. If I'm not deep in the woods, I love being by the lake, especially at nighttime. The fresh air, you can breathe it in. It is just so great. Just take a look at some of the sites that they have listed there, and you just browse through it there. Pick any one particular site, and I'll go ahead and click on number 7 here, and it'll tell you exactly what is available at that particular site. Just look at it right there. Wow, yes, it's got a paved driveway back in. It'll take a vehicle 40 feet in length. That's just one of the sites, and this one here, friends, is right by the lake. Now, again, check out the date range, too. It is a year-round campground. The season dates run all the way through. The peak season runs through Monday, September the 30th, 2013. But you can go ahead and make your reservation online if you happen to be living in the Fort Worth area or planning a vacation out that way anytime in the future. It doesn't have to be 2 weeks. It doesn't have to be in 2 years from now. But this is a great campground. You might want to go ahead and take a look at it. A lot of the sites are available right now, and you can make your reservations right there online. If you haven't already signed up for an account, go ahead and do so. It's not going to cost you anything. They ask you for some basic information. You create yourself a name and a password, and you'll be able to log in anytime that you make a reservation at a recreation.gov site. It makes your reservation process a whole lot easier. Bear Creek, Texas, that's our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show. And if you have a campground you would like for us to feature, drop me an email. Please do. Send it to Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com. And make sure you include, along with that, a link to the website, because we definitely want to go ahead and take a look at it and give our viewers and listeners an opportunity to take a look at it, too, and see exactly what it is. Well, that's about going to wrap things up here on the Happy Camper Radio Show. Daniel, do you have a great time?
Yes, I have a great time.
I had a great time here with you, too, and I take it you're going to be back.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we've always got room here for you by the campfire, so make sure you join us. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper, and yes, you, my friends, can be one, too. We'll catch you next week. Have a good one, folks.